The challenge at Lake Hills Church was to take a room that was specifically for worship and turn it into a general use, general purpose ministry room, which required us to do a couple of things. Number one was to give it tremendous flexibility in both sound, stage, lighting, and all the technical aspects. The second part of the challenge for us was we had to change the configuration to allow it so that it could take everything from chairs for worship to tables for a banquet to standing room only for kids or student ministry. And by putting in a flexible video-based system with tremendous sound for both the spoken word and for worship, it allowed us to do that.
Now the sound system was a whole nother conversation because that was extremely outdated, and it was unbelievable the difference that it made when we got to hear the room with the system that Skylark designed and installed for us. Even just changing the soundboard, we were shocked at the difference that made in the experience of a worship service, of a Bible study. But then when everything got installed and dialed in and tuned into the room, it was like we got a whole new room for the cost of a sound system. You know, when we went looking for a partner in this new project that we just completed this past year, there was really no question that we were going to continue the relationship that we've had with Skylark since before Moses was a baby. I mean, we go way, way back with Skylark, and the reason for that is they have always done such an incredible job for us, but it's the relationship that we have with them that's based on the integrity that they have, to say nothing of the expertise that they bring to the table. And those things combined, particularly for me as a pastor, help me to sleep a little bit easier at night, because this is a major investment for us to know that we're dealing with people who know what they're doing, but also understand us and can help us work our way through the process. Maybe when we don't know all of the right questions to ask, they know us and they know what we need to get done. And so that was a tremendous help for us as we began deciding, are we going to go back to Skylark? No question about it, again, because of the relationship we've had with them in the past.
They heard our dreams and our vision. They put that through a filter of what we can afford now, given our situation, and then protected that investment going forward to meet the ultimate goal. So even though we can't afford the whole vision right off, what was installed was protected and was going to be useful, and we would build off that moving forward. So Skylark does a very nice job of recognizing where you want to get to, and then within the scope or limits of your budget and or planning process, takes you there in the steps to ensure that you eventually get there. And that worked out really well at Lake Hills Church.
You know, I think one of the greatest benefits to the relationship that we have with Skylark has been the service after the install. And you know, anytime you take on a project like ours with an LED wall and a brand new sound system, top to bottom, there are going to be issues that you have to dial in that system to meet the demands of the room. The prescription and the design were spot on. But then once it's installed, you got to dial it in, and that dialing in process takes some time. It just does. You can't just hang speakers, plug them in, and wish you good luck. And for us, the responsiveness of Skylark, when we said, hey, now that we've been using it for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, a year, has been absolutely unbelievable. We're over a year in on our sound system redesign and install, and Skylark has remained so accessible to be willing to come. And the cool thing is they're not even here in Austin. You know, for us to be able to pick up the phone and for them to be on a plane from Oklahoma City whenever necessary, as soon as possible, has really been kind of overwhelming. And it's one of those things, it's kind of like, you know, doctors don't make house calls anymore. Skylark makes house calls. And those house calls are as long as it's needed to get it right.
As the finance pastor, my favorite thing is I've got a trusted partner that I'm never left alone. I've got a trusted partner that I can always ask a question. And we don't have a budget big enough to hire everyone necessary to know all the lighting and know all the AV and know all the stage, know all the production equipment. So we've got a partner, and that just makes me sleep well at night.